How you doing, Rhodes? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but it's really hot in San Francisco for the last
I
week.
yeah, I seen that from the 49ers game that they were expecting temperatures up around the 90s for that game, which is pretty hot. I don't know, Santa Clara's I would imagine a bit hotter than the Bay Area, right?
Yeah.
But still, you guys are cooking. I was there in early October when I went to my last football game down there, and it definitely wasn't anywhere near there, but it was still super hot just because of the way the sun beats down and a little bit more humid. So that's crazy. You're cooking like
Cooking
the
for
market.
sure. Not the good cooking, but cooking nonetheless. Um, we really don't have the infrastructure here to handle the heat. It's like LA temperatures right now, so
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
it's
I'm sure most people don't have AC and all that kind of
right.
setup, right? It's supposed to
So
it's supposed to like normalize with the coast, right?
I have no clue. It's just been it's like this happens every single year where it's like 1 week and it's just like extremely hot.
Yep.
Um, Normally the summers are pretty good. It's just like people come to SF and it's like, oh, why it's so cold in the summer? And then 1 week it's like, please stop, let it be
Yeah.
cold again.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was the weekend. I mean, since we talked last week on Monday, let me pull it back up again. Pivotal time. We saw one down day due to the war, and then I mean, it's climbing back to that spot again. So again, another pivotal time for us. Kind of retraced from the early morning green candles, but um, not too bad of a day considering everything.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. We have fully retraced the gains from the day. Market's actually in that sense pretty volatile on the intraday, just up down. So interesting to see. We'll dig into that shortly. We'll go over the slides. I don't have a lot to note on the slides. Um, kind of not anything as crazy as it has been, I guess. Is kind of my gather overall. I mean, one chart that I found kind of interesting from I think Invest Answers. They do a show every Monday with Mando and um, Crypto Larson, and the other one is Marty Party. So some guys that are fairly prevalent in the space, at least on the kind of content wise. Either way, there was a chart that they shared with new Bitcoin whales, and they're surging here in the recent period of time, which I think is a pretty positive indicator overall. It means there's some large accumulation in general. They also brought up the kind of the question of whether or not retail actually will get here in the same sense because of the way the ETF exists. And I think overall this, as we've discussed, much of it is that the market dynamics have shifted with the ETF being in there. MicroStrategy, bit of a breakout. I don't know if that's a leading indicator to what's going on the Bitcoin side of things, but interesting of note, they've been in this kind of range for quite a period of time, and they just broke up above that. And they're a proxy to Bitcoin in general. And meme coins seeing a bit of a run in a rally, which is great. And NFTs pretty consistent. Ordinals seeming to move anytime there's some positive Bitcoin action, and so we see that. Otherwise, Solana and Ether are flat, kind of consistent there. And then some of the meme coins, majors up, Pepe 10%, with 15%, Popcat with a massive rally up to 1.4 billion. Are thereabouts, so up to all-time highs. They broke that 1 billion mark again. We've been right around that billion mark for a while, so that's a big push there. And then the big prediction market one right now is the Satoshi documentary release coming out tomorrow, I believe. And I think is that an HBO or I forget which
It was on Vice.
production on Vice.
Actually, I have no clue. Don't
Yeah,
hold me on that.
yeah, because it's coming out by one of the networks, anyways. But yeah, so there's a lot of prediction market action and volatility going on there.
It's
So
it's already a top, um, one of the top volume.
yeah, okay. So we'll obviously take a look there. I don't necessarily have an opinion either way. It's always actually I do have an opinion. To me, it's always felt like it's a collection or more than one person. Um, but it's always been such so like hidden and you know
I
showing.
don't think they know.
So I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't. They're gonna come up with a conclusion, but I don't know if it's actually gonna be the answer. Of course, you can still get the answer from what they say to the poly market, so you can still get a conclusion to that poly market bet. But I don't know if they're gonna know. I don't feel like their evidence is gonna be conclusive enough. So we'll see.
No, the evidence is just move some Bitcoin around in the wallet.
Yeah, exactly. They take a dormant Satoshi wallet and have them move it and send it and prove it that way.
Just
I
send
see.
me one Bitcoin, send Rotes one Bitcoin, and
Yeah,
then we can verify.
and the
It's very
fact with that,
simple, actually.
yeah, exactly. The fact that we haven't seen any movement on chain yet, yeah, I don't know what kind of proof they really have. But into crypto, and speaking of Bitcoin, let's take a look there.
Yeah, I
Actually,
mean
I haven't
it's
put my screen up
really
yet.
quite volatile day.
Yeah,
We posted some stuff on our Discord actually about just the moves we've made, um, where we think Bitcoin's heading next. I think everyone should take some time and read that article or quick blurb we put out this morning. But we were discussing that in some chats last night and decided to make a statement there. But I mean, I'm just waiting for another pullback to buy back in. I just put in some more money into Coinbase. I think this is almost the time now.
I I think you're not wrong there. Um, and so that part is quite interesting. Um, sorry, I am breaking news. This is pretty massive breaking news on the football side of things. Um, looks like Rashi Rice for the Chiefs may be back this season. So I am taking a quick look at that. Bear with me here on a second if you want to
That's why the
filibuster just
Chiefs
a
are
bit.
are blowing up on Polymarket.
Are they?
Yeah, I'm actually up on everything besides the 49ers because the 49ers are just chokers, I bet.
Um, yeah, the 49ers did choke the last couple games. Um,
Yeah. But
uh,
I'm up 60% on the Ravens if we're just going to jump to Polymarket.
that's awesome. And I think there's more positivity to there. Like I said, the Vikings stand out. Um, I'm looking up the Rice news and conflicting reports. So I am not going to act on it super aggressively. But Rice being one of the breakout players in fantasy football, of course, for the Chiefs, all that kind of stuff. There was a bit of rumors on the Chiefs trying to land Devontae Adams, and that could be something that helps their case for the Super Bowl. But there is a bit of weakness for the Chiefs at the moment, just given the fact that their offense is a little bit weak, and I'm predicting that the Chiefs are going to lose tonight to the Saints. I just believe there's a lot of strength for the Saints, so that one's going to be interesting. But all of that very much aside of what we're looking at right now in Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I would have said, you know, up until this just recent kind of dump, I would have said that I think 60K that we just experienced might have been the best value that we had. I know last week when we were here, we were talking about, let's see, where we're second. So we're right on this like 61 one range off of there. We got one more pullback as low as 59.9, and then it's kind of really rallied off of there, which is kind of the range where we're kind of discussing. The pullback itself was not as strong as could have been expected, but now as we sit here, we're right in this kind of last hour, pretty sharp down, giving back everything that we gained on the day. Now, as I look through it on the 4 hour, etc., there's still some support. There's some long-term spider lines that's kind of ranging off this channel. I see Tyler's jumped in here. Look forward to what he's got to say. But really bouncing in this, the 61.7 range is, I think, a pretty good support area. There's also the 4 hour EMAs. And then there's this other range above at 64, getting up to the cycle range. So it's, a bit of chop in between until you kind of get some kind of breakout above or down below. It's a bit of a hard call. I think this 60,500 below that, look for further downside, and a break above 65K. Well, I mean, it's more like 66K given this range, but 65, 66. So welcome, Tyler. We've been rambling, filibustering. I don't even know if you were here when I all of a sudden started talking about a football player news, which is totally sideways on the show. Danksy's probably going to kick me afterwards.
That's okay, bro. I'm grateful to be here. A little late right now, preparing for a possible Category 5 hurricane to smoke us here in Florida. So was boarding
That's ramped up that fast already, has it? Hey,
yeah, bro, it's moving quick.
Holy heck!
We'll see what happens. I think I'm probably going to be evacuating. So honestly, bro, just been boarding up windows here, preparing the crib for when I'm not here, and we'll see what happens. Tomorrow I'll really make the decision, but ultimately, yeah, bro, just can't really avoid it. It's a bowling ball coming at us, bowling pins, and it's gonna hit a couple. Don't know who. But outside of that, bro, yeah, I'm kind of with you on the charts. We're still playing within that zone, and honestly, like, let me see. I think I can still pull my chart here. But yeah, I like what you were looking at there. Honestly, let me pull this up and see if I can give you guys a little insight on what I'm looking at. Might be a little choppy here.
I mean, it was feeling really strong up until the last couple hours here, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, what's really going on here with them?
Yeah, 100%. 100%, bro.
Oh, was that Dankzy?
What's up?
Did you say kind of what you think on the pullback there, or is it just?
Yeah, it just seems like it's just a pullback, right? The move this morning was pretty strong, so obviously people are gonna start taking profits, but nothing to be worried about. I mean, on the daily, it's still pretty strong on the daily chart.
Fox. Yeah, man. What I'm looking at here is, I was expecting us to really hold this 52 or 51. I think when we first started back doing these market analysis Mondays, but even here, I think I didn't think we were going to come this far back, but ultimately this was my kind of like last level here. That 56 is what I was like, I think we're gonna, if we come back that far, we'll hold it. You can kind of see here. I know it's probably a little hectic for maybe the average eyes here, but if we delete some of these fibs here, right? Just understand what we're looking at. So these are last levels of support for this structure. We broke that previous high, but kind of like what you were saying, right? We kind of need to break. We need to break this like 66 to 70 range for it to really look appetizing on the charts. But as far as like in a smaller time frame, if we take the bottom from here to this high, you can see. Honestly, this was pretty expected for us to keep coming back, right? We broke this structure. Once we broke that, I was expecting some type of retracement to a 50% retracement here on the fib, which was it's about 60,000, roughly 59,000 and a half. I think 60 is probably more accurate there. But even now on the way back up, right, we're kind of seeing a little bit of resistance here at this 88.6. And this was still from, again, right, we take this one off, so it's a little less confusing. This was from here, from this fib. And actually, I lied, from this fib. So still kind of playing off of a little bit of these levels, and sometimes I like to keep them. As you can see, we're still kind of resisting here, so I want to see us break above that. But ultimately, for any type of bullish sentiment from my end, I want to see us break first this high, that 65, and then from there we need to break this trend coming down, which is probably roughly about 67. And we got a lot of really the bearish, we got a lot of selling pressure here. Will be the easy way to say it. But yeah, I like you said, Roach, it's a little tough to say, yo, bro, from here, it's like, when we were back down here, it was kind of like, yo, if we hold that, we're going back up. But now that we're in between that, we're halfway in between kind of where we have price trapped in this range. So ultimately, right, if we had the moving average here, I think, Roach, you had it on yours, you'd probably be able to see it almost a little better, right? Because we almost have it trapped within the moving averages. I think they are the Bollinger Band, something like that. One of those indicators. It's been a while since I pulled one up, but yeah, ultimately I think we might see that move back up. But we got to break some more levels. But it's tough right now. We got election coming up in like less than a month. I think it is 30 something days, maybe, and some change. But yeah, we'll see, man. I would like to personally see us break above that. That would be my biased opinion, my realistic opinion, like my logical look at it. I think honestly, bro, we still might come back down and touch that 60K one more time.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think, as long as you're above, I mean, even the channel range, you could go as low as 52 and still be within your structure 100%. Right now. I don't think it's off for Danksy to wait for a bit of a pullback to load up a bit more.
Yep.
But in saying that, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a rip already.
Yeah, today is a Tuesday, right? Or tomorrow is a Tuesday.
Tomorrow's a Tuesday.
Today is a Monday. Yesterday was Sunday.
You are correct. Our last Monday, Tuesday was a quite a range pullback down. So we're looking at it there. The Monday, Tuesday was a dump. Of course, that was due to the risk that was highlighted that I highlighted and talked about. We could be looking at Middle East pressure, and of course later that evening, I think it was where there was a bit of an attack and everything kind of really pulled back. Anytime that happens, you're almost always looking at a V-shaped recovery on it. And one thing that BlackRock's trying to highlight is that Bitcoin is more of a safe haven and a risk off type asset, and that's what they're trying to promote. And so I don't think we've fully seen that dynamic play out yet. Anytime something coughs, sneezes globally, macroeconomically, recession, this, that, everything else, Bitcoin seems to overreact and take a dump. But it should see as its store of value and be this form of safety within the market to provide a bit of risk diversification in these kind of situations. So you would expect Bitcoin to continue to perform well with that and stabilize. I know FG shared a wicked chart. I'm going to pull that up actually pretty quickly here. Oh, there it is. Loco.
Yeah, man, it's weird too. Like looking at ETH compared to even Bitcoin as well. Like Bitcoin usually and ETH I feel like line up as far as what they look, as far as like market sentiment, bro. But even now, it's kind of like, oof, gosh, I don't really know. We got a couple levels to keep us between going up and down.
Yeah, we're right in this kind of this range we've been in for so long. That's kind of we dump from it or we go above it, but it's like the consolidation range, right? So obviously for Loco, watch the same. Well, maybe he just picked up from the tweet, but the same kind of Monday morning show. Yeah, this is an interesting chart. You can kind of buy into it a bit, right? Bitcoin as being a kind of a a backing. Although, I think the discourse around this was roughly as long as nothing catastrophic happens in the next 10 to 15 years, then you're looking at probably Bitcoin. If it's before then maybe something like the old faithful gold kind of stands up a bit there. But either way, I think interesting enough. And I think a bit of confluence in the projections of what Bitcoin can do. The other interesting analysis that I want to kind of bring up in relationship to Bitcoin is, historically, first few days of October is your low for the month, and in October itself, from that low is about a 30% rally, which our low 59K, 59.9, that would put us up somewhere in the 75K range by month end. Maybe a little too optimistic, but kind of rally that may may be something that is not off the table. So obviously
Yeah,
we
bro.
gotta break out some ranges here before that happens. And I would be shocked if that happens, but I think there's a lot of positive momentum as we lead up over this next 30 days here.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. I like that life cycle chart that you brought up about fiat currency, bro. Because even if you Google it, I think, I want to say it's like anywhere between like 25 and 35 years. But bro, even like forget crypto in general. Like if you just look at what money is, like fiat currency, the ones that we use, and you say, hey, all right, let's look at the life cycle on these things and break it down on a what is money aspect, because that's really the foundational level of investing in the first place. Like, why would you even want to choose cryptocurrency or Bitcoin over any of these other assets? And you look at the average life cycle of some of these currencies. The average is 35 years. There's some of them last longer, some of them last shorter, but ultimately the average life cycle for any fiat currency is about 35 years. And keep in mind, there's only one ending. There's only one ending with fiat currency, and it's always hyperinflation. It's a crash. So honestly, bro, when you look at that and keep that into account, right? What would you want to store your currency in? I mean, even gold or silver is more appealing than physical gold and silver is more appealing than the U.S. dollar. The only reason we all hold the U.S. dollar is because it's the most easily, the most widespread accepted currency, right? You're not going to go to your barber and give him a little chunk of gold and tell him thanks, brother, and give him a little sprinkle of the on top
The
of
dust.
little
The
flakes.
dust.
Yeah, right, for the tip. Some dust for the tip. But yeah, man, just looking at money in general, I'm glad you brought that up because you just think about fiat currency, bro. I'm 27, right? About another 10 years roughly, maybe even shorter. Who knows where we're going to be with our fiat currency? And Michael Saylor does a great job at it, but you look at fiat currency, bro, it's a ship with holes in it that ours lets on about 6 to 7% of water a year in the US. But you keep in mind, right? Well, how does this boat not sink? It's like, well, we just build taller walls so we can hold more water in the sinking ship. It's like you just keep building the ship taller, that way it can hold more water, and ultimately, eventually, it does sink. But yeah, man, I'm glad you brought that up because we're on the downfall of fiat currency, especially with the U.S.
Yeah.
The U.S. I think I want to say it's like 1973. We're almost at 50 something years, I think, since it wasn't backed by anything.
Yeah, and there was what was another one like, and I don't even know how this one's possible, but like 80% of money supply right now is from the last 5 years.
Yeah, man.
Which I guess, I mean, COVID and all that kind of stuff. Like, we printed that much money in the last 5 years. That's insanity.
It's amazing, bro. It's amazing, and it's theft, right? This is where you get into like the passionate the passionate part of
Yeah,
things, where
right?
like you could get right into the more political side, but this is where ultimately like why, right? If you understand this concept, it kind of makes you start leaning towards one political way to begin with, because if you think that taking any in the U.S., bro, the Boston Tea Party was over a 1% tax on tea. Like, if you look at capital gains tax, brother, nobody's flipping nothing over 35%, 40% capital gains tax.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. Back then they threw a fit, burnt stuff, threw stuff in the harbor, bro, in the Boston Harbor. And now you look at us, and dude, not only do they take it away from taxing, but they also take it away due to inflation. Like
Yep.
2% inflation is the goal inflation, meaning 2% theft or 2% of your money gets devalued every year. But I'm glad you brought that up, bro. Sorry I went to a spiel, but yeah, man, it's so important to know that as well, because if you're just thinking like the government's gonna save you and come print more money for you, like it's only gonna be worse off. You gotta finally make a decision for you.
Yep.
And not saying go and buy Bitcoin, but ultimately look at what money is in the first place.
Yeah, and that's one of the key elements, key principles behind Bitcoin that I think has so many people convicted is the fact that it is a deflationary asset. There's a limited supply, finite supply, and then it's trustless, borderless, which also stands out beyond anything else, right? So it's a lot harder to censor Bitcoin than it is
It is, bro.
just general currencies. So,
And it's backed by energy. As long
yeah.
as we got energy, we got Bitcoin.
And if we don't have energy, then we got a whole lot more problems going on. So,
Bitcoin's the last thing to worry about if there's no energy, bro.
yes,
What do
we
you mean?
rely
You'll
on.
just be mining really cheaply. You can just mine on like solar panels
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Dude,
on
you
your
know what's
phone or
crazy?
something.
You know what's crazy, bro? I just seen there's because all these hurricanes. I don't know if this was a thing before, but I just came across a TikTok and it was Starlink, but it was plugged into DeWalt batteries. So like, bro, you could, as long as you got DeWalt batteries, brother, you got Wi-Fi, you got internet. Like that's wild.
Wow, there we go.
Yeah.
So Starlink is saving us all.
Shout out Elon.
Shout out Elon, getting things done. Guy understands
He does,
a
bro. He
lot
does.
about what the world needs, and the fact that he's trying to get to Mars. Maybe we should all be a little bit more scared.
Right, bro. You know something.
Something. Let's take a look at E. So yeah, E in this channel range. As long as it's above, this 2150, I think we're generally pretty good. But it's not showing quite the amount of strength that it had. Going into last week, and give up a lot off the dump on kind of the political side of it. So actually, no, it didn't even. We'll look at where East pullback was last week. It gave back very little, and it's just lost a bunch over the last. Is that right? This week, I'm tripping here.
Yeah,
Oh, it
looks like
was
we kind of
Tuesday.
fell off there as well.
Yeah, that's they just a bigger sell off than
Mhm.
what we've seen on Bitcoin.
But even
Yeah,
that, bro, I
ETH's
think
always ETH's not performing pretty well this cycle recently. So hopefully they come back stronger um, within the month.
Mm-hmm.
it'd be nice to see that, bro. But even then, like I think as long as that the network is improving, the team's working in the background and all that stuff for Ethereum, and people continue to utilize it, I think is the biggest part. They can do all they want at this point, but I think we need people to utilize it. Like same thing with Sol, right? If you want Sol to grow, Sol's great. You need to convince people to utilize it. As far as like the chart goes, though, bro, it depends. I think we're healthy. I think we could still come back to 23 again for more better accumulation, drop another $130 roughly. But I still think that 2500 level is going to be a little tough to break, and the 2800, which we've came close to testing it twice. That other one we were 100 bucks shy roughly, but honestly 27 to 28.15 is really going to be a tougher level to break, and even above that too, we still have a lot of we have stronger zones if you zoom out on a little bit bigger of a scale. But yeah, even if we came back, and I still want to hold that 2100 level, just based on looking at liquidations on DeFi Llama and other platforms as well. But as far as coming back down, I mean, even if we came back to 2100 again, wouldn't be necessarily concerned. It's if we break below that where it's kind of like, whew, it's gonna get a little sketchy with ETH. But yeah, ultimately, bro, I think once we break that above that 2500 again, we might see some more movement back towards that 28.
Awesome. And Solana, similar, looking a little more positive than Ethereum in the last little bit here. Similar kind of story overall. It's held this 140 range quite a lot, right? And so there's some support now that we're above 140 on the daily here. And so it needs to push above. It looks a little bit better when it comes to like, a lot more similar to Bitcoin, to be honest. Solana is, whereas ETH is, you know, on a whole, much more bearish on a larger scale. But I think also, you know, recognizable that there's more opportunity for it to kind of rebound and get back into where Bitcoin and Solana are, which is where it's lagging for the most part.
Facts, bro. Yeah, that 132 to about 140 levels is a good area to look for. Honestly, I don't know if we're gonna make any moves back down towards the 128 that far. I do have a zone from 128 to 132, but we were still even shy touching that 132 again on that. You know, after we moved up to 160, fell back down, almost was about 135 roughly. But I would like to see, like you said, similar to ETH as far as what we're looking for in really any direction, right? If you're leverage trading, you can make money in any direction. This is where sometimes you lose a little bit of your bias, which is beneficial for your spot trading. But I mean, even if you're looking for leverage, I'd want to see it break above some type of level here in order to look for any entry, unless you're going to really analyze and play a smaller term trade. You know, more of a hourly trade there. But until it breaks 160, I mean, or again comes back down to 132, it's kind of, you know, patience.
Yeah, definitely. Any other alts that stand out for you that you want to take a look at?
Yeah, dude.
Sui's having another
running.
another strong day here. Sui is almost breaking all-time high. Is that correct?
Yeah, I am loaded up with some extra money for the Sui pullback, if there is any. There might not be. I might miss it. So
if there's a time for it to pull back, this is where you would want or expect it. It has to happen here. Weekly's going on strong. The daily.
I mean, it looks like a rocket. It looks like this might be the biggest winner of this cycle. It's a new coin. They're doing a lot on the back end. Their team is strong. They're putting a lot of consumer apps on there exclusively through venture investment. It might be the one.
Yeah, I think one of the holdbacks on Sui is that, okay, what separates it from Solana, but you know, I think a lot of it has to go with the team and some of the partnerships they're building on the back end with it. So
facts. Yeah, really the only other alts that I'm interested in, kind of the ones I've been naming the last few weeks, the Aave, Uni, Link, Render. I mean, there's some other ones in between, but those are like the main ones. Aave specifically, because we've been utilizing it as kind of an indicator. As far as if you go back, like I'm trying to see where Monday was. Let's see. Tuesday. Yeah, so Tuesday, I mean, Tuesday we still kind of moved almost with the market there, but
with the market.
I mean, even before that, right? 2 days before, Aave was already on Saturday, bearish candle down, and then it was on Sunday too, bearish candle down, and Monday continued, Tuesday continued. I mean, from here, bro, looking at Aave, it looks like Aave could still continue down, or we come back, hit that 135 and break back up. But this is one of those times where I kind of look to Aave for a little advice. Where, like, you know, and it's so funny, bro. Maker, I don't look to as much anymore. Maker's kind of done a little crazy stuff with its rebranding, new token, this, and I'm not as attracted to it as more, and I don't think other people are as well. Aave's stuck with its very simple, its working platform, and Aave and Compound. I like Compound still too, but Aave, dude, is for this ride up. I mean, it's been kind of one of those ones I've been watching again. But as far as level wise, I mean, 143, I would really like to see it stay above that. If it breaks below 135, is that next level. But I would love to see it hang above 135. If it does, I'm bullish on pretty much every other alt. Um, if in right, if we hold above that 130, that one, what is it, 143, break above that 154, that would be another level I'd like to see us break above. Let me see. I could probably share my screen really quick.
I don't like the somewhat head and shoulders pattern that's forming on it.
I've seen that. That's
right?
why I was like, it looks like it continued down.
Yeah, like it does show some weakness there. So you kind of
Mhm.
want it to hold and rally up.
And
with
this
it,
is
but-
where like my bias with the market makes me believe it could still come down, because if Ave continues down, I mean, there's a lot of room for Ave to continue down. We could still go back down to 125. We could go back down to 110, and even
Mhm.
$100, and that would still be a healthy retracement for Ave,
Mhm.
just from this last run up. So if Ave continues down, that's kind of where I look again, not jokingly, for advice, right? Like if Ave is going to continue down, then so are the alts. People are going to keep taking money out. But yeah, I personally would love to see us break above 154. Like logically, bro, it looks like we're going down still. Even with Bitcoin,
do the inversion test and see if it's still the same
the
way.
inversion. What is it? Control I
I think it's Control I.
Control I.
or
There it
Alt
is.
I? One of them. There we go. Yeah. See,
Does
this
that
is where
look
you're like,
it's going up?
it could, yeah. It looks
mean-
healthy to go up.
Does it look like it's about to break out? That's the real question.
I mean, it could, bro, because it broke a level that it was just like, honestly, it's almost like a perfect head and shoulders pattern right here. If we were to continue it, I mean, it would be perfect almost. And I guess I wouldn't really call that one a head and shoulders, but interesting. Yeah, I again, when looking at Ave, it makes me kind of think we're going down a little farther still. Maybe not farther, but just a retracement. But even looking at, I mean, I would like to move up, but I don't know. It's tough to predict here, bro. It's easy to play probability
Right.
or read the
Well, and
levels.
that's
Be wait-
exactly what
be
I mean.
waiting.
It's all comes down to probability at the end of the day.
Mhm.
And you're only making your guesses based on what you're seeing and probability from
Yeah.
that. So it's tricky, especially when you're in this sideways action. This is where people get just wrecked because
Yep.
you're expecting this breakout and then it doesn't happen and it pulls back and then you're like, oh no, we're dumping, and that's the
Or then you paper hand it and cheat it, and then it goes to the moon. And then you buy the top, and then you hold it for like 4 years, and you're like, wow.
Literally, bro.
ride it slowly all the way. You finally give
Then you
out
rinse,
into
repeat.
something else, and then it rips.
And then you rinse and repeat every 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh God. Honestly, though, you brought up a good point there, Rotes. And honestly, bro, not being in the market, people get caught up in this. Not being in the market is also a position in the market. You don't always have to trade. You don't always have to be in the market trying to make money. Sometimes sitting on the sidelines, waiting and being patient and waiting for a move, you're better off than trying to. And if you're kind of unsure, if you're waiting for levels, you're better off. You're better off out of the market as a position than you are guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I think as an early trader, bro, I always wanted to be in the market making a trade. I always wanted to have something to watch or something to do.
Oh, for sure.
Not
You're just
realizing.
like bored. You're like, I need to speculate on something.
Right,
Let me get a little bit. Let me get my heart rate up a little bit.
I need some type of adrenaline.
I need to feel a type of way, I
Just
was
to
looking
feel
at Ton. Haven't been doing well after that guy got arrested. Just hasn't been the same.
Hasn't been the same since, huh?
Yeah. Not sure why you have so little data points on it. If you go to, I use the perp contracts on Binance. Yeah, that one.
I just like the ones that have the full symbol. I always gravitate towards those where I can see the full.
But yeah, so he got arrested. I think on the 23rd of August or something like that. 23rd, 24, and I think he started opening up the chats to police if they require it, and now it hasn't been the same. But yeah, I was pretty bullish on it. Maybe it's a good time to buy now.
Is there any news on what's happening with the guy? Is he still? Maybe I missed that. You said it.
I think he's still in France.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's just changing dynamics within the app. Maybe less secure or less. Uh, what's it called? Confidential, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Might have something to do with it, but people have put a lot of money into Ton and that ecosystem. So I'd be very surprised if they just walk away.
Trying to see what's the market cap on it. Do you know off the top of your head?
No, but I'm assuming it's pretty big.
Yeah, I'm
Top
trying to pull it
50
up. Well, yeah, I
coin,
mean
I
it's
think.
number 11 on CoinGecko. So I mean it's got was that like
Is
13
CoinGecko the
billion.
best place to go? I use CoinMarketCap mostly.
I
It
interchange between the
depends.
two of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends what you're looking for, bro. I think they both kind of have slightly different tokens on there. CoinGecko is more focused, I feel like, on the main tokens. I think
Yeah.
CoinMarketCap you can kind of get behind the scenes a little bit and see some different ones. But I think the criteria to list them is different as well. So I think that would be something to keep in mind if you're looking at certain
It's
projects.
30 billion on Ton.
Fully diluted because it's 13 billion here on
Oh, 13. Yeah, 13. 1 3.
CoinGecko. Yeah. Okay.
Just read it wrong. I don't like how they do the wrapped ETH on CoinGecko, though. Like all the
Rapti.
wrapped and liquid staking.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Mixed in there, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Ton not looking too hot right now. But that might be a good sign to buy.
And it's 10 on CoinMarketCap. But yeah, it does look weak chart wise.
Right?
But
I mean, there's so many good catalysts in the future.
you can range and consolidate here for a bit longer. And this like really
range
around
that
$5.
guy gets released. And then he announces an airdrop of some Bitcoin, and it's moving.
Internal optimist there, Banksy.
You kind of have to be
Right?
in crypto, optimist but realistic. Yeah. Besides that, I think I'm just waiting for a pullback to get into some good coins. I think I'm done buying Doge for now because I committed heavily in the beginning. So I'm probably gonna go into like Sui, Ton, maybe some ETH later on, and then we'll see.
I like it. Tau doesn't look like I have the full chart either, but that's a strong looking chart.
Is that bit? What is that? Bit sensor Tau? Maybe I'm mixing it up with something else. Yeah, as far as alts go, bro, I mean, there's a lot of good projects, but if you were to allocate long term, I mean, Ethereum name service is another one I like. Pretty much like what is it, like Snap? You know how Snapchat is with the cash codes, or not Snapchat?
Yeah, we were
Cash App.
talking about that on Wednesday.
Mhm.
The ENSs.
Yeah, there's one for Solana too. That's FIDA.
Is it good? Are people
Hmm.
there used to be a guy in Bruce Labs that was trading it a lot before when it was hype.
Mm-hmm.
I think now it kind of died down. You might see it come back if during probably like if we're expecting like a massive run in like 1 or 2 months, you'll probably see people buy more of those in like month 4 or 5. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, the name services are so smart, man. I think it takes away the Web3 and the craziness of crypto, and it makes it more like the simplified version of like finance, right? Because when you go and swipe your credit card at, whatever store you're at, you don't know how the credit card processor works or where it goes through or what it does. Majority of people don't. I think if we can utilize those like the name services, like the Solana name services and the Ethereum name services, I think that'll simplify crypto quite a bit. And maybe I'm
Don't you think
wrong,
like
but
something like Coinbase would just kind of the same way, right? Because Coinbase, you have your username, and people are just sending crypto to, other
it,
usernames. I don't know how much that's used, to be honest, but I know it's a function in there, and I
mhm.
see some of my friends on there, and I'm like, okay, that's good. You can do it that way, but I feel like the less interface, totally right, because even ENS is another layer of complexity. And once you get to ENS complexity, you're almost willing to then go just directly to the address, because it's like, hey, just send me your address, and
You
it's
Right.
just
going to
copy and
grab
paste
copy and
anyways.
paste the address. So ENS and signing up for it and all that kind of stuff, like adding a web domain, it to me isn't that user friendly, that simple. I think it's super speculative. But I haven't seen an ENS name in practice be functional
Yeah.
yet. You know?
Yeah, I don't see very many people utilizing them. I think
Yeah.
there's probably some improvement to go on before, like you said, to make it more seamless and easy
Mm-hmm.
to utilize. But even like I have Phantom Wallet on my phone. I don't have very many wallets on my phone, actually, funny enough. But Phantom Wallet, dude, for like the last month, they've been trying to make me create like an at username, and I was curious. I'm like, who is this going through? Is it because it's Phantom? I'm thinking like, well, maybe it's going through like FIDA, because that's the Solana name service. I don't know any other
Mm-hmm.
ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was interested because even right now I just pulled it up. It says create your at username and unique identity for your wallet. So I mean,
Is
I
that
think
going to be like Coinbase, or is that going to be like ENS and through,
right. That's what
Solana?
I'm curious. Like
Yeah.
how where
Yeah.
what are they utilizing this at service through?
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't figure it
Mm-hmm.
out. I didn't spend much time on it, but I was interested because it brought up. I got a couple people I put on to FIDA back in the day, back when we were becoming Soul Max season, buying it at like what, 10 or $20 or whatever it was, 11
Mm-hmm.
bucks, I can't remember. Um, but we were buying a bunch, and then that was kind of when Solana name service we found out about it and bought some around like 20 cents, bro, and that puppy went up to about 70 cents. I'm like, oh my goodness. Took a little profit on that as well, but even just recently, I had a couple buddies. They're like, "Dude, have you seen FIDA?" And I'm like, "Honestly, I haven't paid attention to it for a while."
Mm-hmm.
But it's back in those zones, back around that 20 cent range.
Yeah, I'm still confused. 'Cause I've had my ENS for like 2 years now or something.
Hmm.
Um, Still confused about how they do the routing and if I messed up or not.
Yeah,
I've never sent my ENS out to
me
receive
either.
anything, so I don't know. I
Cool
remember the
concept.
last 4 digits of my wallet, and that's how
Yeah.
I know.
Same,
Yeah.
bro. I usually check like the last 4 digits, and I'm like, let me just check the first three too, just to be sure.
You gotta check the middle 5, and then you'll really know.
Right. Like,
Um,
what's this number 6 letters in?
right. Do you guys? I mean, do you guys own your ENSs for ETH at least, or no?
I don't think I have my ETH one. I have a bunch of Solana ones. Funny enough, I have a bunch of ones through Fido.
Yeah, I have my ETH one, but I haven't necessarily used it for any utility other than just having it.
Right. Make sure no
So
one represents you.
I
yeah.
remember back in the day it was when Poppy had like the JPEG Poppy, and there a lot of people were also buying the ETH ENS for that too. So like I know Garrison's got like JPGG, I think is his. You know, he bought one, but he's got a couple. But dude, it was expensive. I think to I want to say it was like a couple $100 and it was almost like a rental fee. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah,
I
it was
don't
a
remember.
rental.
Yeah,
It's
it's almost
quite
like a rental.
annoying.
You don't even get to own it.
Yeah, for a period of time, and yeah, I don't know how much. I think I was like $50, but I only did a few years versus 10 years or whatever.
Yeah. That's the
Oh,
part I
we
don't
were
like
talking
about
about
the
this
ETH thing.
last time too, about like finding famous people and registering their ENS.
Yeah, for
Register
some flips.
all the people that potentially could be Satoshi on ENS right now
I think
on
they're all
Polymarket.
like guaranteed registered. There's that's a definitely a hobby of many the ENS squatters out there.
Oh
So
yeah, bro. Dude, even for the Solana name service one, I mean, I used to have like a notification on for their Twitter account, X account, and bro, like some of the amount that some of these like usernames go for is insane. Like I'm like, holy crap, bro. Like somebody actually paid for that. But I
Yeah,
guess
ENS squatting. It's the same as like the domain names.
mhm.
yeah.
Should we transition to NFTs? Roads, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I was trying to find a way of transitioning domain names into NFTs.
They're the same
Thankfully,
thing.
you just
They look like NFTs.
yeah, there you go. I was trying to find a hard transition, but I was on the same wavelength to switching over. Volumes pretty flat. I mean, we've been in this same range of volumes for months now. Outside of that kind of late mid September dip, but volumes are pretty flat across the board. Um, most of it on Blur, a degree on OpenSea, and then some on Magic Eden as well. Actually, Magic Eden is still very low. It's CryptoPunks, kind of the third ranking on ETH side of things. Nothing triggering here on the buyer to seller ratio. Seen some positivity up in early August. But this is my primary bull indicator, which is never activated. So I can't even say it's a bull indicator because it's been in the negative really since May of 22, 22. Yeah. So that was right around the other side. It was kind of the end of the first bull market run. And then so
Well,
it's always been under since then.
it looks like it could be good for a bear indicator. You know, hits the
It
line, sell off.
Right? Exactly. It's really pegged the bear market indication, as we really haven't seen any bull market run for NFTs. We've seen pockets of a rebound, etc., but nothing beyond that. Buyer to seller ratio is staying fairly consistent. Almost looks like it's fading off here a bit the last couple weeks. So something to monitor there. Really, it's been pretty quiet on the east side. Like I mentioned at the open there, that we've seen a bit of a rally on ordinals. Kind of coincides with strength in Bitcoin. It is the one dynamic that I think is kind of most interesting when it comes to NFTs is that ordinals have this degree of predictability, and if we're thinking, okay, October is the move into the election cycle, then ordinals I think are an interesting, albeit risky, play and bet. The projects that exist over there aren't necessarily at the degree of stability. They haven't been established for as long, and the projects aren't necessarily producing a lot of longevity, other than maybe some of the aspects of whether or not they have provenance, etc. Looking at the index, we have kind of. I've been trying to look at this like range cycle area here, right off of in this, what is it, 75% range, and whether or not we're above or below it, and whether or not that's going to indicate any kind of support and resistance just on the percentage changes on the actual index itself. Hard read, but relatively flat over this last range, considering. And then I think it's again a good consolidation overall, which is great. Stability in NFT market, I think, is pretty solid. Sproto Gremlins, the lone winner here. I didn't catch as to why they have made this run. It's been a pretty busy Monday, as most can be, but they're the lone winner here. Everything else kind of flat over the last 30 days now, with several collections being in the negative. So the rally that we saw really a few weeks ago, we're now down below those levels, with most kind of in there. So a bit of sideways action on the NFT side of things. Outside of ordinals, we look at Magic Eden. See, I'm last looking at ordinals, puppets, seeing the most success here.
But ordinals
adjacent.
The runestone dogs airdrop was outperforming a lot of the other cryptos. I don't know if you guys follow that, but it's also been down horrendous, so doesn't really mean much. Like what's it called? The runes, the dog runes that they were airdropped.
Oh, okay. Is that the? Where do I see that?
Go to runes up on the top bar by collections.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So it's go up. Go to volume probably. Or go to the moon. That's the one.
I remember when these were going to outpace meme coins, but the naming convention and being restricted to the character limitation that they have, etc., and then the ability to trade this because it's like done in buckets, has made them not catch on quite as
no, well. I think these are pretty much done. There's no, unless something crazy happens, it's too far. It's too much of a
it's backwards. A niche of a niche, and it's you're right. It's not simple. It's not easy.
It's surprisingly difficult.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's listed on some exchanges.
Interesting.
It's on Bitmart, at least. It's on some exchanges that you can trade.
Milady's up. Milady's counter NFTs. I talked about Milady's as being at a pretty good, interesting level, and one that I would put more of a bet on, given everything else that has gone on. They sold off fairly significantly, and I still think that they have the ability to get back up to a 5 ETH range. So, Milady's.
Does that mean meme coins are back?
I think meme coins are back, at least over the last week and a half or so. They have felt like they're very much back. So yeah, I think you're not wrong there. Milady's above, say, 3.4 is interesting, but they're in this nice trend here over the last week, 9 days down from where they were at their low at 2.72. So nice run there. Going to keep watching Milady's, but I think they stand out for me. Azuki's the other one that I think, it's a lot more speculative because you're feeling like they could do something when it comes to the meme token, etc. Of course, that's the general speculation you have to kind of run with, which is a little harder with them. But pretty quiet NFT side. I think, for the most part, you can wait on all collections outside of, a couple on the performance side. I would look at ordinals. You see a rally on Bitcoin, and then ordinals are a nice proxy play with it and have typically outproduced. And of course, then you're betting both. You're getting a kind of a leverage spread on both Bitcoin going up and ordinals going up at the same time. Volume is a little harder. You're kind of trapped into the ordinal a little bit more, but I do think that over the next month or so, ordinals are interesting. Zuki chart looks not bad as long as it's holding above this 5. But you look at the 50 EMA, it's kind of ranging above right now and looking all right.
Yeah, it seems like NFTs have been quiet. I mean, they look like some of the major ones look up, but they're a couple percent up here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think really it's just like a handful of them, bro. You take a good 20, 25 of them, and those are really the only ones that are that I'm aware of at this point that are still worth investing in. And there's maybe 20, 25 of them. If I had to sit down and name them, I could, but it's hard to kind of throw together a group that I'd be like, yeah, I'd be confident holding these. 20 of them especially, maybe 5 would be easier.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing as meme coins, right? You can only name
Yeah.
25. Anything else is pretty rough to hold long term.
Yeah.
ENS up 200%.
Yeah, it's nice to see.
That's the floor too, which is not
That's
crazy.
the floor. Yeah. Yeah, you can see over the last month that most are down, but
Well,
we had a previous month rally, so as it's highlighted, NFTs are down, spike, down, spike, kind of direction for the most part, right? So Milady's showing some strength, Azuki's showing some strength. They kind of stand out above most, and that are the two I kind of like there. Captain's looking strong here.
I'm not familiar with this one.
Captain's 9 gig, kind of big Asian following overall, strong team. So they're interesting. They're one of the more confusing NFTs. They have this like evolution side of things where you can see it's like a customizable NFT.
Interesting, yeah.
I struggle with that whole aspect. They don't provide that degree of
Looks like some of them
individuality.
grew up from like a baby to like an adult.
Yeah,
age.
I mean, you can take your captain and create a character out of it. There are different types, right? This is a mythic, and then so you have a legendary. So some of these are evolved based on that, but you can then apply your traits into your character itself. So they're interesting. They also have potatoes with them. So there's a few degree of levels, but they have kind of just moving up a bit off of a long range of consolidation more than anything. Not a lot going on the chart. Otherwise, it's
Yeah, when you zoom out, it's hard to see if it's going up or down.
Mhm. Right?
Gotta really zoom in there to see some
You have to
action.
really take a look to see where it's at. And if
Right.
you pull back a bit there, it's up, you know, 20% off of its floor consolidation here. But beyond that, not a lot of action, and we're pulling back a bit from where it's rallied from. So it's, I think, a lot more similar to everything else. So I don't know what I guess 30-day, maybe it lagged from everything else when it ran, and that's why it looks like it's up. But
Yeah.
um,
Well,
when
it looks
when
like
you
the alpha is by ENS. By
I'm
by
not
some name
willing to
servers,
say
bro.
ENS is ever alpha. I have never felt any FOMO on buying ENS domains, other than having my own because I thought it was kind of cool to do. But
Facts,
beyond
bro.
that, like I, I just don't see the utility in practice until I do. It's not there, right?
Yeah, we're
Because
a ways behind, bro.
yeah, I think it's a it's more complicated than owning a wallet. And when you look at the mass and everything else, the wallet itself is more complicated than just having an account in Coinbase or on Robinhood or whatever else the case may be. So you got to
Facts.
you got to dumb it down to the masses and find what's going to apply there, and what's going to apply there is what's going to be the successful point of it, right? What makes NFTs interesting is the fact that it's identifiable. It provides some kind of uh, identity representation, and so on social media platforms, someone sees this person's like, oh, it's this picture, then they see other people this picture, and then so maybe they copy and paste it or Google image search it, but then they're like, hey, I want to actually own it to represent it. Then that's where you see it kind of take off a little bit more. But yeah, it's all quite interesting. The hard transition, or our most successful transition, is taking NFTs. We should take a look at them first, actually pull them up. DGods,
I was waiting for that.
waiting for the DGod transition.
Oh, I couldn't
Take a
wait.
look
That's
at the
my favorite
chart.
part.
Yeah, I mean, and DGods are awesome. Now they feel less awesome. Um, they're holding though off the last
What's
couple weeks
what's
here.
your what's your prediction before? Because I have the chart up. Over under 40 mil market cap on the token.
The over under is
Under.
set pretty close. The over under is set pretty close to where they're probably at. I think they're
Right,
just
that's why
under.
it's a good line.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're just under 40 mil, probably 30, 39, 39.5.
What you got, Thanksy? Come on. I'm under.
It's 37.1 right now.
Oh, 37.1, even down more. So they're holding one ETH on the ETH side of things. Solana is likely similar, denominated in whatever that Solana transition is for them. And then if we go take a look at them on here, where's DGods? 37. How long ago did I look at this? Because I was recently looking at this. That's the only reason why I probably got this right. So I was organizing my watch list based on market cap. And so I had recently looked at it. This is separated by hours. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 38, 39. So I was probably looking at it around here. It's dumped since then. Given back like most of the crypto market on that day, which was an up day, back into this 37 range, which is where it's shown some consolidation. But it's been as low as 36, where we were last week. Last week it was 43. So we're down substantially, over 10%, 12, 15% to where we were last week. So not performing well.
I mean, it has
likely.
It's the typical meme coin chart.
Yeah. Well, except for that. Although I guess that might be a meme coin chart too. But yeah, it's the ski slope, in a good way. And very little jumps on that slope going down too. I mean, there are some, some some are just just a smooth ride out. But you're going to want to see a long range of consolidation, and then maybe you buy into that safety, and then it suddenly pumps because of whatever bit of news happens, and that's what's going to happen there. But yeah, I don't know. I have held Utes in the past, etc., and it's just like, what is there in terms of potential? I don't know. We'll wait to see how it rides out, but yeah, at the moment it's down bad, loss of identity, etc.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
So let's take a look at PopCat.
Oh man, looking good.
It definitely had its PopCat. A nice breakout over 1 billion here. We were at that range for a period of time here, but last week hovering right around that 1 billion mark. A break above 1 billion would have been your positive sign here, which we had on the 4th, so just a few days ago, and it rallied hard all the way up to 1.45 billion. So a good 40% run on PopCat. Pull back, a nice kind of pullback retracement here on it. Let's see here. Holding the 618 right now. Exactly. And so we could get a possible rally kind of off this mark here.
Even with PopCat hitting the 1.4, 1.5 or billion, it doesn't feel the same as that whiff situation, and then also the Pepe situation.
In what way? Just the amount of hype behind those?
Yeah, just the euphoria.
Yeah. PopCat just kind of out of nowhere, really. I mean, there's not a lot of the same, and at least I don't see it on the timeline for PopCat. But Brett was kind of like that too. It seemed to rally without kind of the degree of attention, but it does look nice here. I don't know what the upside is. I don't know if we're going to 2, 3, 4 billion, but it's got a good entry opportunity off of this 618.
How's Moodang doing?
I think it's
Moodang,
like flat. I think it's down actually.
I think it's down a bit on the week.
I was gonna
Let's
say I
see
haven't
here.
seen, my girlfriend stopped sending me memes about it, so I feel like it's probably dying off.
Right? That was one
That's
of
the
those
real
things
barometer.
where you get
Yeah,
you get
right.
such a rally off of the chaos of the amount of attention it got. Now it's just regular old booting again.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how sticky the meme actually is, on whether or not it is one that will kind of
If I
go
start
there.
seeing more memes, and I start getting more memes from my girlfriend, bro, I'm gonna have to take that as a sign. That's the indicator. Buy the meme.
One of the more bearish things about Moodang is Moodang's going to grow up.
Yeah, right.
Take a
Often,
time bomb.
yeah, often babies are cuter than the adults. Now, the contrast to that is Doge. Doge as a puppy versus Doge as an adult. It's the same thing. It doesn't change, right? the Shiba
What if
Inu
Doge had puppies?
always looks cute. I don't know. I don't know what a puppy Doge looks like. I assume they look very much like the adult ones.
Like a
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, just a cute
Doge
little
Jr.,
dog.
the new coin.
Right? Well, that's Nero.
True.
Yeah, Nero.
Nero. Yeah.
Nero,
Wow.
actually.
Oh, that is
Nice.
crazy.
Wow.
It's a nice rally
Speaking of,
over the last 24 hours, looking strong. I mean, Nero to a billion it seems really obvious. I think I've said it all along.
But this one, this like the random one that just got
It's
that was
listed. It's there. It's the. I mean, Ethereum meme coins seem to show greater strength overall.
right, but
And I
the
think
other one was also Ethereum.
was it?
Hmm.
It wasn't a. I don't even know if I have the other one anymore, but it's done for, is it not?
real quick,
Oh.
sorry to bring it back to the beginning. I just got a notification. This was actually from today. It says the Supreme Court won't hear case over 4.4 billion and seize Silk Road Bitcoin. The U.S. government is now free to sell almost 70,000 Bitcoin that is seized from Silk Road.
I
So
thought they sold most of it.
I thought so too, but apparently we got about 70K left. So depending on what they do with that, could also kind of depend on
Trump
some.
didn't want to sell it.
Yeah,
I think the current government would be open to selling it.
I agree.
So it could be
But
some
in-
added sell pressure there.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just, kind of to add on to our
Mhm.
bias from earlier. Sorry to
Yeah.
bring us back, but
Yeah.
anyway, back to
Oh.
meme coin.
I like bias confluence. It makes us seem much smarter than we may or may not be.
Right.
But they
Yes,
only
I knew
read
there was something
articles
coming.
that support my bias.
Mhm.
Like only read
We got
negative
Nero on
articles.
3.
It's probably the second one.
The second one's one we're looking at.
No, third one. Sorry.
Third one?
Oh.
Yes, you're right. Actually, I still have it as well.
Right.
Yeah, this is
This
the
one from
original.
like 300
This
mil
is yeah,
to like less than whatever.
because it never got listed. If you're not
Right.
listed,
But
then
this
you're
was the
not.
bigger one when it
Cool.
was.
It was way bigger. Although I think the other one was original, right? So
The
this is
other one
July
was original.
27th. So so the original got listed. This one just kind of took precedent, and then well, they're both same day, so who knows what? Obviously, this one happened beforehand. I don't know. I think
I don't know.
this
Who
this
knows?
looks strong. I mean, it's 787. So the idea of it getting to a billion, I think we still see it. Either way, I mean, from where it was and this 480 up to 800,000 is a nice rally. So continue to watch it, but it looks like you want to pull back here, and then
I'm gonna
continue
fade
on.
this one. I think, even though I know it's gonna go up. I think once I buy it, it's gonna go down. So
Right?
I need to take
mean,
the donations.
At 688,000, it's not the worst fade, but back here at
I've been fading it. I've been fading it since
you
like
have been fading it all the way along, right?
50 mil or something.
I wonder, when was it? There was a call out on, but seeing more of these kind of ETH based listings take off from maybe the Solana counterparts. I wonder if we see that again. Either way, the Ethereum meme coins seem to show more strength overall. There was a Mudang Ethereum. Yeah, this one. So this one rallied pretty hard here over the last
Couple days.
little ways. This one, 100 million plus, could get listed. And this guy's ugly. I mean, he's cute, but he's ugly. The side profile, not good.
What's the
Front profile,
requirement?
It's like
to
a
get
pug,
listed?
dude. It's like a pug.
It
where,
is a bug.
um,
Requirement for getting listed?
Yeah, like where would you look, like, like was there requirements? Because I know with CoinGecko, like, between CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, I think there's different qualifications, I think, to get your coin
It
listed.
just takes an exchange to want to go ahead and list
You
it.
got to pay
I
him
think it's
normally. You got to pay him.
yeah, that too, and it's an attention thing too. So,
Interesting.
but the 100 mil range, you get some kind of stability above 100 mil, 100 to 200 mil. That's always a quick liquid range. So I would keep a watch on this. I don't know if you're not buying at 80 at the moment, but if you're up above 100 for any length of time, this could be a get from there. What else is performing well? Mew is performing pretty good at the moment.
I'm surprised Mew is not doing as well as PopCap.
Yeah, right. They were challenging each other for a period of time. Mew was the first one to really run up to try and hit 1 billion, and then it kind of tried rallying a couple times. It was the second of the poly market bet on which would cross 1 billion, but it's seeing some strength here over the last week or so, early October, and so it's interesting. Of course, it's gonna probably get some added strength just based on PopCat rallying, and so it might get pulled along a bit. So it's still kind of interesting, I think, and showing strength over the last little while. SPX feels like one of those memes that is kind of inevitable, something to rally behind.
Yeah, I didn't see
so-
this one.
Yeah.
Dude, I've
Is
been
that
watching this for a long time. It's crazy. I
SPX
also been debating it.
6900? Is that what it says?
Yeah. So can we flip the S&P? Basically, I think is the the general idea behind the meme.
I like that. I could get
so-
behind that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And you can see, I mean, people are very consistently behind it. No pullback really at all to speak of. This has been just a strong kind of almost parabolic chart here. This one also feels like it's got momentum to reach 1 billion. And if you're looking at that, then, maybe this is a more safe bet over the Nero, maybe. I don't know. It looks.
I'm in a super
really
DJ
strong.
one called DXY. If you want to pull it up,
The
It's the
Dixie.
same concept
Yeah.
as the SPX one, but
Mhm.
it's
The dollar
super
index.
small, like 2.7 market cap right now.
US DGen index. This is great.
Dixie, how long have you been
market
watching
cap
that?
at 2 point? Yeah, this is freaking awesome. Actually, I like this one.
So yeah, that's what I'm in right now. Hopefully it moons, and then
I like how you
Like a
call this one a
billionaire.
super DGen one. This is the super DGen one. No, this is at this price too. Is this brand new?
it's brand new.
Yeah.
He's
So it
like, I
might be
just
a
got in
long
8
wait.
seconds ago.
I just got in. I'm pumping my bags.
Like it's been around for hours.
Bro's like, I literally bought yesterday.
I'm the dev.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, we're all kind of in the buy zone right now.
Right. The dollar DGen index.
You just cover the whole chart with the.
I mean, that's what happens.
You gotta love when a token's new trying to mark it up.
Right.
It's
You
like
gotta go
the
in
worst
one
part.
TA
now.
on-
chart.
Let's do this hour-long TA.
Right.
But I'm a buyer here at 2.3 mil.
213 could be the move.
If it comes back to 1, bro, I'll be interested.
You're dead
Down
by
to
then.
0. I'm down. Buy the whole thing.
And this is on ETH too.
Yeah.
This is set. This is programmed.
It's
I like
it's
it.
programmed to run. That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what the kids say.
who's
programmed.
they? Thanks, you know a lot of people on this project.
The super DGen
Yeah.
one.
Any other meme coins you guys want to look at, or you want to go to Polymarket with the Satoshi bet?
Yeah,
I
let's
got
go to
nothing
Poly
else.
Market. I'm looking at Harambe. It still hasn't done what, Harambe is one that's been just like, okay, it's going to break out, but it has not yet happened. So we continue to
Yeah, it's a little
watch.
tough with them being dead, bro.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
you lost your spokesperson. What are you gonna do?
Mhm.
You can't shoot him again.
You just play the music and that's it. Like, yeah.
Oh, bro,
Okay.
I'm be in tears.
With that, we're going to Poly Market. We just killed meme coins.
Bro said you can't shoot him again.
You can't shoot him.
Oh wow, we had some movement here.
Oh
And so
goodness.
Len Sassaman was kind of leading the way for a good portion of it here. Looks like
Who is this guy? I've never heard of this guy ever.
I haven't either. But Nick Sabo is now taking the lead here. We also have Adam Beck, who would have thought was going to take the lead. And then others gone down a bit.
Yeah, like
Other
those top
slash
4 or
multiple.
5
I'm just
were
refreshing
kind
here.
of.
This chart will
My bad.
change. So Nick Sabo is really rallying here.
Yeah, bro. It seems like I mean, even those top 4 or 5, it looks like they're all really well-known cypherpunks from back before
Mhm.
Bitcoin even.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But
right.
It's tough to say. I think what was it? Who did HBO say it was? That Len dude?
Well, that's what we're gonna find out. Right.
They didn't release it yet. I thought
Right.
they just released like a documentary that they did and said it was they claimed it to be somebody.
No,
I told you. You missed it
The
when-
doc is happening tomorrow. It's releasing.
Oh, my bad.
Right. So, it's whatever the conclusion of this documentary is the bet. Not whether or not
Okay.
it's actually they're correct in the documentary. It's
They're
just
like,
what's
such a lame bet.
the conclusion of it.
My ears were off thanks to you when you were explaining it. My bad.
What? Oh, I'm just saying it's such a lame bet. If it's just based on a documentary, like, dude, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, what they have to do is they send Rotes and myself 1 Bitcoin
Yeah,
from
you
the
gotta-
wallet.
You have to validate through the wallet. So unless the wallet has actually moved in the last before this documentary is released, then you don't have any proof. And of
It's
course, if the
definitely an
document,
insider bet here for sure.
you would think so. There's people that obviously know the answer to it because they were
The top
involved in the
holders.
documentary. So it's a little weird in that respect. It's like, what is the documentary going to be? Well, it's like, well, how do you get connected to what that documentary result is going to be or get a prelim release? It really felt like Len Sassman was the guy all along, and now all of a sudden
It's Nick for
someone's
sure.
someone's
Nick for
uncovered Nick in the the 11th hour.
It's Nick for sure.
Who is
There's
Nick?
a
They must have-
guy with like just made an account with like 97,000 shares.
He must have been at the early screening of the movie or something.
Or like knows the director at HBO or something.
Yeah. Right.
It's not too hard to figure out this kind of stuff.
Oh, is that what happened then? So someone bid a major whale buy on Nick, and then everyone's just kind of piling on because of it.
Probably.
Who knows?
But is that someone that's just trying to get it cheaper for Len? You can
I don't know.
manipulate this, right? It's like,
Who
I want to
knows
get
these
Len
things?
cheaper because I know Len's the result. I'm going to pump up Nick. And then once Nick gets pumped up, I'll sell Nick and then buy back into Len.
Yeah, but there's not that much liquidity. That's the problem.
Yeah. Interesting one. I like it. That's fun. I'm looking forward to the documentary. I will be finding out how I watch it through my Crave, I think. My Canadian Crave, HBO. We'll get it. I don't know if I get it at the time it releases. It'll be all over X by the time I get to watch it.
So it's gonna release. Someone's gonna skip to the end and then buy all
Yep.
the shares.
Yep.
Yeah,
No way.
right.
There's no way that's not gonna happen.
Well, it's going to be a mad race, right?
Oh, it's gonna be. There's probably be bots already, like refreshing HBO, going to the end and like scraping the closed captions.
Didn't you know the HBO Gold members get the release first?
No way.
No, I'm joking, bro.
I was going to say. How do we get it first? Jeez.
You missed the
feel like
early
the-
screening,
like,
bro.
Maybe
The
you
whole
can
time
get
I've
it
been thinking,
on,
I
like,
work for a cable network. I'm like, is there any? I don't, but like it would be, like, geez, we're getting into that kind of territory with something like that.
dude,
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
Polymarket brought out the
we
best
made
of us.
hella money on Polymarket with some insider information like a month ago or something. Then we gave
on
it all
Bieber.
back.
Trump taking some momentum here.
This is
lately.
a crazy. I don't know what's going on with these odds. Why is he doing so well?
Yeah, what's the surge all about lately? It's really, really moving here in the last couple days.
Looks like
I don't know.
Camels
Could be a
went
good
up quite
Kamal
a bit.
buy. It should be 50-50 here.
I mean, it should be, but based on what is it? Adam Silver, Mr. Silver, Nate Silver. There we go. Where he's kind of dialed it every year, and he kind of had it at 60% Trump not long ago, and at that point in time, he was behind in the polls. In my opinion, that it's an automatic. Like Trump is the guy until his opinion changes, because and it's all based on Trump supporters. They don't poll well, yada yada, and so therefore, if they're doing the polling and then Trump's kind of equal to Kamala, then you assume that there's an added X amount of percent that you add on top of that. So if he's kind of rallying at this point, then he's rallying at this point, based on, I would assume, polling, but I don't know why he's really, really jumped.
Right. I mean, you would assume they'd fix the polling situation at the end.
What is this?
From now, it's been like what, 8 years now.
Am I betting Saints? Are we getting a Saints bet going on here? Like,
I was looking at that. They started already, so.
oh, have they?
That's the score. Yeah, it started 15 minutes ago.
Oh,
Chiefs
geez.
are up 7-0 though.
Okay, that's why it's changing. I was like, why are the Saints? I said earlier that I think the Saints should win this game.
And it's 4th and 5, so they're down a possession.
Wow.
Well,
I just
they're
crashed my
so.
screen.
But Saints could be the move.
Buying the Saints. You can see some Saints buys coming in. Oh, Chiefs buy. That's fun.
Bro, it's how you not on Polymarket yet? How are you not scripting Polymarket? Oh, also,
because I've been betting parlay bets on NFL, and that's enough for me to do that way. But and then the other part is the NFL bet is such a long bet that my degen attention span on bets just doesn't hold that long.
True.
Even though, playing these teams and going back and forth, like I said, I Minnesota, I had labeled out last week as a team that I thought was quite interesting, and I mean the Saints, but Minnesota looks really strong, and then of course they had just an outstanding performance here in their last game. But I think Minnesota is going to continue to be really interesting. Oh, Kareem Hunt scored that touchdown. Son of a gun.
I was doing some math on this mega quake in October bet.
Mm-hmm.
It's
mega
accurately
quake
priced, but you could make some slow and steady money on if there's not an earthquake.
Yeah, because it's split basically the odds by month, right?
Yeah,
on how often
but
it happens.
it's pretty accurate. It's pretty efficiently bet already at 94 right now.
Well, that's what you're going to find with a lot. Obviously, the NFL is going to be pretty accurately priced as well. I think maybe your ability to get in and out and trade that activity is where the true benefit is on Polymarket versus the actual outcome placement. Jeez, my football game is in French.
Yeah, besides that, I'm not really sure if there's anything interesting for this bet.
Nothing else. Where's your where are your odds on the NFL?
I'm up.
Super Bowl
Okay,
odds?
I'm up actually pretty good. Up 32% on Chiefs, up 10% on Lions, down 18% on 49ers because they're bad, and then up 60% on Ravens.
You know, the 49ers may be bad at the moment, but they've had their struggles even last year. But like talent wise, they're also down a little bit bad on due to injuries too, right? So parts of that change. Chiefs rallied what during this
Yeah,
during
because
this
the guy got.
freaking
You
night.
said the guy was healthy.
No, there's two different reports. There's we got T Swift. There's the Rappaport, and then there's Adam Schefter, and one said it's positive, good news, and then I think people ran with that he could be coming back, and then Schefter's like, no, he's done for the year. But yeah, I mean, they don't have the receiving chops that they've had in the past. They don't have the running back prowess, so their offense is kind of weaker. So there is a lot to the Chiefs that would lend you to sell.
What do you
And
mean?
maybe-
They're gonna go all the way. This could be an easy 10x.
I mean, at 17%, you got to figure they're making the playoffs. Teams that are making the playoffs are gonna get a bump. But Minnesota, they're the current only 5-0 team.
Well, after today,
Chiefs win, then they go 5-0. But I'm still saying the Saints are winning this game.
bro, I have Saints on my pick'ems. They better win.
Yeah, Saints are good. We'll see. This is a good test for the Saints. But yeah, Vikings are going to continue to steam up, I think. Texas is not bad. Lions have showed a bit of weakness. Seahawks really declined here recently. Packers, I think, are a little low on this. They're still, I think, quite strong. Commanders, maybe still undervalued. They have the best quarterback to start his career going on there.
Forgive my ignorance, bro, but is that a new name for a team? Did
Yeah.
they switch it?
Relatively new. I preferred them when they were the Washington Football Club. I thought that was just
Gotcha.
perfect. But yeah, they
No.
were the Washington. Before that, they were the Redskins.
That makes sense. But I was like, who in the heck are the Commanders, bro?
Yeah.
I never heard of that until now.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with sports, as you could tell.
So any other Fed interest rate for November?
Dude, I got owned on that one.
25.
I got owned on the September one. Never betting that shit again.
I think that's probably a pretty good call. The Fed is kind of unpredictable.
That's not their job. Their job's supposed to be predictable.
They got an 18% now.
Rhodes is really watching this one.
Oh, 23 because they're getting possession back. This is what I've never watched it live in game. Of course, like on a betting app, it'll change live in game and away it goes. But
Yeah.
24 cents or like 18 cents, 20 cents. Like, yeah, they're down a touchdown, but like the first 2 weeks of the year, they were the highest scoring team by a mile. Like they have the offense.
Bro, so you got to put in some money in here. It's an easy 4x, I think.
Well, I have to transfer. So how do you fill your wallet?
You can send ETH USDC in here.
So ETH USDC, send it over, and then place your bet. Okay.
Yeah.
I will. I don't know if I'll get in for this game at the moment. Maybe I can. I like it. I can always sell it as soon as they score a
always
touchdown.
Sell it for pennies.
after at the end of
After
the game,
they
it's
go
90.
down like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we will see how that plays out. I just realized where we're at. We've been doing this for quite a while already. It's
Almost,
crazy.
yeah, almost coming up on 2 hours, bro. Went
Coming
by
up on
quick
2
today.
hours.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
it did
then
fly by.
The Dixie's running 3.8 M's.
Ooh. Let's go. Awesome,
You guys
guys.
missed
Well,
you guys missed the entry. Should have bought. I think when we talked about it was the bottom. Looks kind of bad on stream. But we gotta,
hard to tell where the bottom was there, brother.
nah, right when we talked about it, everyone was like, "Oh, Danksy's in this. Let's buy." Confirmed.
there.
So they're like, Danksy made this. I'm in.
I thought I did TA on this. Did I not?
I don't know. Maybe you
You
go to the
did.
price instead of market cap.
I'm on market cap. I'm defaulted for market cap for
I
everything.
don't know.
I thought I had done we were looking at it at, I think I said 2.3 was the entry. It never got down that low. I missed it.
Missed it. What are you gonna do?
Although it was right in the pocket there. It was in between the two. That's usually where you grab on a
That's where they
pullback.
get you.
So there you
I
go.
got you, man.
Well, appreciate you
All right,
guys. You
guys.
guys
Mhm.
kind of ran over, but all good on the play market.
Yeah.
Let me know if you make the bet, Rotes, on the game, and then
'Kay.
yeah, I'll see you guys next week.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Tyler from Elite Wealth. I think we have you guys tagged on the post, and then Rotes and I from Bridgely Labs. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and everything, and take care.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
you guys.
It's been a pleasure
Have a
as
good one.
always.